What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering. I've got a pretty spicy news topic for you all. I know that kind of the hard news stuff isn't for everybody that tunes in, but if you enjoy my coverage of it, I promise to try and stay in my lane, probably just stay out of the international stuff. But obviously, as I'm getting older and I'm watching stuff a little bit more, yeah, dunking on Pixar later today will be fun, and dunking on woke weirdos will be fun. But also, there's an element of what I do that I think is, I need to grow up a little bit. So if you enjoy the news stuff or if you enjoy my coverage of it, please leave a like on the video. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe or follow. This morning, I was catching the local news. I actually still watch the local news because I find value in it. They were talking about the RNC headquarters in Washington, D.C. had to be put on lockdown this morning after mysterious substance, as they were reporting at the time, had been sent there. Now, again, this is an election year. I just want a regular election year. It feels like each new election year gets ratcheted up and the intensity gets increased every year. We're going to have increased tensions, increased desperation from the Democratic Party as Joe Biden's polling numbers continue to crater. You know, I interviewed Jimmy Dore yesterday. Even people on the progressive side, they're out on on Joe Biden. By the way, you can check that on my Quartercast channel. Or obviously more, on the Mean Green website. But also, so the Democrats are going to get more and more desperate to try and intimidate, any way they can. I mean, we've seen this in the way that they've prosecuted Trump, right? All these ridiculous cases. And, obviously, if you're suffering from TDS, you probably don't agree. But I would think most even people who are like mild, middle of the road people who might lean a little more left, they got to be looking at these lawsuits and thinking like, what are they doing? And then wait till they see how many hundreds of millions of dollars of tax dollars that they've wasted. Also, we saw yesterday, literally the FBI, greenlighting force, a deadly force when going into Trump's Mar-a-Lago. The FBI probably needs to be disbanded. Are there good people that work in the FBI? I'm sure there are. But, and I hope that they find other work. But I got to say, I don't really trust them. I don't think they work for the best interests of the people of this country. I think they operate with impunity. I think that they, clearly work for the establishment, the Democratic Party, very obviously partisan. We can see this stuff with Comey, all this stuff, right? Well, anyway, the Republican National Headquarters was evacuated and locked down this morning with a hazmat team on the scene after several vials of blood were sent in. Now, okay, is this just a message? Is it cosmetic stuff? Is it from the Halloween store? I think that the message may be clear. There may be unclear. I mean, maybe trying to send a message that blood is on their hand. Certainly, there are neocons who I would agree with. The Uniparty members, the warmongers. People think that I'm like a Republican because I voted for Trump. I'm not. There's a lot of Republican people that I truly hate that are first in line to send our tax dollars to Ukraine, first in line to send our tax dollars to Israel, first in line to give everybody more money, more of my tax dollars, rather than securing my border and fixing the opioid crisis or helping the homeless or mental health crisis or our, shambling infrastructure or inflation, which is, there's going to be a reckoning there, all sorts of stuff. So I don't identify as a Republican, but I vote that way as long as Donald Trump's running as a Republican. Anyway, U.S. Capitol Police told politicians' offices in Congress that they are now investigating suspicious substance at the address of the Republican National Committee, Axios reported. The notice issued by the police, staff and other personnel directed to avoid this area until further notice. You can see these people with gas masks and all sorts of crazy PPE on. This doesn't really look like truly hazmat. I mean, they have the respirators, but they have exposed skin all over their faces. Anyway, also, the bomb squad was at the scene. The suspicious package was later cleared. Now, I wanted to like pose a question. What are the odds that they will ever find who sent this? I suspect they're going to put it right behind finding out whose bags of white powder that was. Is sending, these vials in. I assume there was a letter that we're probably never going to see, because the Capitol Police also don't work on behalf of the American people. Probably like, this is, you didn't give Israel more money, this blood is on your hand, or you didn't give Ukraine more money, this blood is on your hand. Some cringe, or some hippie, it's just beet juice or something like that. I don't know. Relatively harmless. That said, it also sends a message that, hey, we can get to you. Or that, maybe there's other things in there that they're not going to tell us about. And, the idea that, we see just yesterday reported lately, this is why I'm worried. Obviously, it's election year. I'm worried for everybody's safety. And of course, I'm talking about normal people. I don't care about politicians. They have personal security. They have armed guards. They have, $1 million defense budgets protecting them. I'm talking about regular people who get caught in the crossfire of this stuff. A new court filing unsealed Tuesday provided behind-the-scenes looks at how the FBI prepared for the raid on Trump's Mar-a-Lago in August 2022, including deadly force being within the mission's guidelines. Are you kidding me? What were they going to go to battle with? Were they going to go to battle with the Secret Service? Was the FBI going to battle his Secret Service detail? This is a spooky time. And I know that, not all of my viewers are here in America, but I'm telling you that, in America, it is I'm very nervous. I'm very, I have a heightened sense of anxiety this summer getting into the election. It's I just want to get the election over with, and get back to some sense of normalcy, some sense of safety, hopefully. You see, the raid led to the search and seizure of a bunch of documents that were worthless, that didn't matter, that aren't going to lead to an arrest. But anyway, of course, the presumptive Republican president, I wonder if they had authorized deadly force when going into any kind of Democrat's home. Yeah, I'm just curious. I'm wondering if that's something that they would do. It's just so weird that sometimes I want to just talk to people who are even strongly, I'm not talking about liberals. I'm talking about Biden weirdos, whoever those people even are. I want to just sit them down and be like, come on, let's flip the situation on its head. Let's say this was happening to Biden. Wouldn't you think this is insane? If people were mailing stuff to the Democratic National Committee building, wouldn't you think that's, by the way, did they ever find out who left that pipe bomb? I wonder. Anyway, the Capitol Police don't solve crimes. They cover them up. I'm pretty sure, I can't even tell you how many people have rammed their cars into the gate in the past year. Have you heard anything about that? Were they politically motivated? Were they people? I don't know. All I know is I see a headline, oh, somebody drove their car into the gate, blah, 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 blah. And anyway, and you see Donald Trump Jr. here saying, WTF, the real threat to American democracy is coming from the Bolsheviks in the Biden administration. They will do anything to hold on to their powers and stop Trump. Biden's Attorney General Merrick Garland, quote, personally approved the use of deadly force against President Trump during an unconstitutional raid of Mar-a-Lago. Biden is a threat to democracy. I mean, you keep seeing all of these Democrats acting with impunity, whether it's Letitia James, whether it's Fani Willis, whether it's any one of the Democrats in Chicago, whether it's the super mayor, that other chick, all these minority women Democrats have no fear of ever being prosecuted Because they're not, and look, even the first time Trump took office in 2020, for example, did he go after Hillary? Did he really drain the swamp? And I get it. I know people who, I like Trump a lot. I'm going to vote for him in November, 100%. Okay. But also, I'm not like a cultist. I know that like everything was working against him while he was president. I know that. But I also know that a lot of the stuff, the draining of the swamp never really happened. And so all I can really do is hope that in this election cycle, it does. Do I really think that the FBI will get abolished? That'll never happen. He'll get JFK'd before that ever happens. We've seen it, right? In the files with, with the CIA or whatever. So, I don't know, but something's got to get done. I like that there are people saying, oh, it's standard procedure. It's standard procedure to authorize deadly force against this, are you serious? WAPO, two senior FBI officials who would be in charge of leading the search resisted the plan as, quote, too combative. FBI, quote, law enforcement officers of the DOJ may use deadly force. It's like, what is going on? Were they hoping, praying that there would be some sort of backlash? It's going to be a spooky summer. Stay safe out there. Don't get sucked into any rainbow operations. Don't get sucked into any, to breaking the law or putting yourself in any kind of harm's way for these people because they don't care about you. Cast your vote early, and tell your friends and family to vote. But be smart out there. I hope you were informed by this video. If you were, please do leave a like on it and subscribe or follow down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.